What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you my review of the Avantone Pro Gauss 7 monitors. Those are the monitors that you see behind me. So no, I did not get rid of my barefoots, but Avantone Pro sent me these to review, so that's why you've been seeing them in my last few videos. And Avantone Pro is letting me give a pair away. More information on that later in the video. So the Gauss 7s, as the name suggests, these feature a 7-inch woofer, and while that woofer shares some design similarities with the Avantone Pro CLA 10s, these are very much their own monitors. To start, we have a frequency response of 30 Hz up to 22K, so it goes pretty low for some two-way monitors. The woofer has 120 watts power, and the tweeter has 60 watts for a total of 180 watts with a Class D amp. Avantone Pro says that these monitors were classics, and while I haven't heard of them before, after doing some research, Gauss was a speaker company that existed back in the 70s. So we haven't seen this name for a very, very long time. What Avantone Pro has done here has taken that old school design and added a modern approach to it. Let's take a closer look. So looking at the front of the monitor, starting from the top, you have the tweeter, which is an AMT style tweeter. You've got the Gauss logo there, the woofer, a familiar white cone, and in the bottom left, we have the power light indicator. And this also acts as the standby indicator. So these monitors have a sleep function or standby function, however you want to call that. But after it's maybe 5 minutes, they will turn themselves off. And when they're off, they're going to be red. And when they're active, they will be blue. And I'm going to play some music here just so you can see how quickly these wake up once audio hits it, because I am impressed by that. I have used some monitors that have a very long wake up time, but these wake up pretty quickly. So I don't even think that was 2 seconds and they woke up. So while I'm usually not a fan of this feature, and you can't turn them off on these, but because they wake up so quickly, it has not annoyed me at all. Let's take a look around back. Looking at the back of the monitors, you'll notice that we can now see the wood finish on the perimeter of the back, as well as the sides, the top and the bottom. This isn't visible from the front, but I do like this all black wood finish that we have here. These are rear ported, and you have your gain, acoustic placement, and high trim. The gain is completely variable. There's no center detent. The acoustic placement, I like that it tells you where to set this per your situation. If you're in the middle of the room, 0 dB, negative 2 dB if you're close to a wall, and negative 4 dB if you're in the corner. If you're in the corner, do everything you can to move. You really shouldn't be in the corner with your monitors, but that's another topic for another day. High trim, this is going to boost or cut your high frequencies at 10K, and that's represented, you can see below in the frequency response there. You have XLR connection, a TRS connection, so you get both types of connections on these monitors. The only thing we don't have is the unbalanced RCA, but that's fine. I like that you at least have those two, XLR and TRS, because some monitors just have one or the other of those. You got your power switch, you got the Gauss logo there in the middle, and the Avantone Pro logo there on the bottom left. All right, let's talk about how these sound. So when I got these powered on and I hit play, there's a couple things that I noticed right away. First thing was the mid-range detail and clarity that these monitors have. Was not expecting that. Second thing I noticed is that me setting these to Unity on both monitors, they were very well level matched. I can't say that for all monitors. 0 dB or Unity on one was the same on the other. Now, I don't know if these monitors were matched as a pair or if they're just taking two, putting them in a box and shipping them to you, but these were very well matched when set to Unity. Back to the sound though. Let's talk about the low end. You get very good bass response with these monitors. I know a lot of people are going to ask, do they need a sub? I think you can get away without a sub with these monitors, just depending on how much of that low end you want to hear. But these do go down to 30 Hertz, which is lower than what a lot of other monitors, two-way monitors will go down to. Sometimes you get 40 Hertz or 50 Hertz, so I was surprised to see that these went down to 30. On the high end, I do feel like these are a little bright, and I'll talk more in a second about mixing and mastering on them, but I will say that these definitely have a sound. And regarding it being bright, I don't think it's overly bright, but I do feel like they are brighter than my Barefoots, but I don't have a problem with that. The mid-range as well is a really forward sounding mid-range, like vocals really sound in your face with these monitors. Again, that's not a problem for me. After it took less than 5 minutes of listening to these monitors to come to the determination that I liked the sound that they were putting out. And they've been sitting up on these stands ever since I put them up. I haven't felt like I've needed to switch them out when I was mixing or mastering. So I've done 2 mixes on them and 1 mastering session on them. And with the mastering session, I do wish that I was able to connect this to a sub. That's one con that I'll say for these monitors. I wish they had a built-in crossover. I can run them with a sub and make them a 3-way setup. But I still felt like I had enough low end there to master on them. As far as mixing, I've done 2 mixes on them, and the biggest question I had when I told myself that they were brighter, biggest question I had is how well will these translate? And I feel like they have translated well. Both mixes I've done on them, I've had no problems from the clients as far as telling me to turn down the high frequency or turn up the low end, anything like that. So I feel like they translate really well as far as what I can tell from the 2 mixes that I've done on them. Other things I'll say as far as cons for these is that I do wish that the gain had a center detent. But again, with them both being set at unity by hand, they are very well level matched. But I'll say again, if I didn't say it already, these definitely have a sound, and it's going to come down to a preference thing. I mean, monitors are so subjective. I really didn't know what to expect from these monitors, but like I said, less than 5 minutes of listening to them, and I really like them. So what else do I not like about the Gauss 7s? More of my complaints come with the manual more so than the monitor. I wish that the manual provided a little more information. As far as the standby mode, there's no mention of it in the manual. I mean, even that's a easy thing to understand, but I had no idea that they even had a standby feature until I realized that they turned off. And I did read the manual as I was listening to them. Another thing in the manual with these Gauss monitors being a classic and coming from the 70s, I like to see a little more information about that and just a little more backstory on those monitors in the manual as well. So that's really my main complaint. I wish the manual had more information, but as far as the monitors, I am happy with them, and I do think that they sound good, that you can mix and master on them, or even use them as a second pair of monitors as well. Another thing I'll say that I wish was in the manual was the orientation of these monitors. I've got them set up vertical. I don't know if you can lay them horizontal or not. There's no mention of that. Normally in the manual for monitors, they will tell you how to position them. Is it vertical? Can they go horizontal? Either or. So that's another thing I feel that the manual is missing. All right, let's talk about the price of these monitors. So these are an interesting price point. They come in at $800 a pair, and actually right now until the end of the year, you can pick these up for $598 for the pair. So right at $600 for the pair, knocking $200 off the initial price. That really puts this in a good place to pick these monitors up if you were thinking about them, being able to save $200 on them right now. At that $800 price point, they're well under $1,000, and at the sale price of $600, they're right over $500. Now, there's a lot of competition in the monitor space, so comparing these monitors to some of its other competition you have here, what I would really put this up against is the Focal Alpha Evos, the newest Focal Alpha monitors, I would say. As a pair, they cost a little bit more than these, but I feel like they're comparable as far as features. Below that, you're really looking at like $400 or $500 a pair monitors. So they're in an interesting price point at that $600 and $800 for some 7-inch monitors. Now, compared to other monitors like JBL, even those Focals, these Gauss 7s are going to have more power. Like I said, we've got 120 hertz on the woofer and 60 on the tweeter. You don't get that same power with a lot of those other brands in this price range. So if you really want to drive these, you're going to be able to. Now, with the focals, my only issue with the focals, and I like focal monitors, but the only issue with the focals for me is there's no gain. Like, none of their monitors have a gain knob on them. They've just got, I think it's 0 dB and -6 for the sensitivity. So with these Gauss 7s, with the gain being completely variable, you can really dial these in the way that you need to as far as the volume goes. All right, let's talk about this giveaway. So for this giveaway, what I want you to do is put in the comments, if you could get any Avantone Pro product for free, I want you to comment what product that would be. Just say Avantone Pro and then list the product, and that's going to enter you into the giveaway. Now, for those of you who are followers of my podcast, the Faders Up podcast, you will get an extra entry. So details on that will be in the Facebook group. And the winner is going to be announced on Friday, November 18th. So that's my review of the Avantone Pro Gauss 7 monitors. Definitely comment and let me know if you're looking for new monitors. Have these been on your radar? And these are available at Front End Audio. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check them out, pick them up, or learn more about them. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.